Sup, motherfuckers? Gonna get started in just a minute. Let me just get set up first. I got a lot of links to look at with you guys. Shit's wild. What's up, motherfuckers? How y'all doing tonight? Chris Wiki coming at you live. And we're gonna actually talk about some serious shit today. Not just fun and games as usual. Not talking about movie films or none of that. Here, we can keep it going a little bit. There we go. Yeah, we're talking about a series of controversies. Most recently, something that happened in, I believe, Boston. Damn, I should have freshened up on the notes before I turned this thing on. But yeah, there's a controversy where apparently someone has been leaving signs around town saying that Islam is right about women. That's the title of this stream. And let me just say full on that is not my belief. And I don't believe that is the belief of the person that is leaving these signs around town. Not my town. As I said, I think this is happening in Boston. Let's turn off the side music. And maybe, jump right into what we're fucking talking about. Boom. Boom. Okay.
Controversial signs are popping up in Winchester about Muslim women that are causing confusion and outrage.
But now the debate has been sparked here in Winchester. Are these free speech or hate speech?
It says Islam is right about women.
They read Islam is right about women.
Several more found at the elementary and high schools and Unitarian Church. It's unclear who they target, women or Islam.
This is one of about a dozen signs found here in Winchester. People we talk to say they don't even know what it means.
Using it's subject to interpretation.
Because everybody has
it is up for interpretation.
And I respect it.
It's like a war shack.
Everybody's entitled to say whatever they want.
Anita Davison says she spotted this flyer Wednesday morning on Main Street in Winchester Center. It says Islam is right about women.
I tore the first one down, and then when I saw a second one, I decided to bring it to the police department here.
People in town say they think the signs are referring to strict laws applied to women.
I think that putting signs up that make people feel uncomfortable is unfortunate, particularly in this time and age.
I asked the cop, if you caught me posting a sign like that on one of these poles, would you arrest me? The officer said it's complicated. Technically, it's illegal to post signs like that, any signs on street poles, but it's hard to enforce. And because of freedom
I was right, it was Boston.
That post wasn't threatening, it'd be similar to posting a photo of your missing cat.
I assume it's negative. That's not cool. It's not a cool thing to do.
It's just upsetting. I just didn't like it. It just wasn't necessary to be.
They got so many interviews. Oh, these are different news organizations.
Center, she ripped them down, took them to police, and alerted social media.
Islam is right about women? What?
for women is insulting and unnerving.
I think it's disgusting. It's unsettling. It's somewhat of a misconception that, like, Islam, I guess, hates women.
It's either about Islam, it's about both. I'm not really sure what point they were trying to make.
Maybe it's supposed to make you think.
It was terrible.
That kind of sign is very upsetting to anyone.
Or not make you think. It's to make. It's to.
Or for many women.
The Winchester
I'm not going to
Cultural
talk
Network
over this.
Also now aware, saying to whoever did it,
I think it's short-sighted. I think it's unfortunate. I don't know that you've gained anything that you wanted.
So it's unclear if this was just a prank or if a law was broken. Police are still investigating.
It's like this fucking the whole news report, like the way they handled it. It's like
Commercial signs are popping up.
It's like it's all conducted by aliens or like a bunch of people like pretending that they don't know what this is. Obviously, all right. I'm gonna give my theory. I think that the person posting up those signs is, I think it was intentional, trying to draw attention, and trying to a straight up troll job, trying to make people face the hypocrisy that they have. It's like one or the other, and we'll talk a little more about this as you see all this. I have a ton of links up here, but I want to actually go through this one more time and maybe stop along the way because I kept on like talking over this and thing. Like, let me actually let's do it again.
Up in Winchester about Muslim women that are causing confusion and outrage.
But now the debate has been sparked here in Winchester. Are these free speech or hate speech?
It says
Okay, free speech or hate speech. What the fuck does... Alright, yes, I guess... Yeah, I guess that'd be a good thing because it's a good point. Is it free speech or is it hate speech? Because it's protected... It's so brilliant. It's like, remember what they that troll job that they did on college campuses, the "it's okay to be white" things. So that might actually have been a more far right or alt right, like a legit alt right type thing, trying to provoke that. But whatever it was, whoever was behind it. I'm not sure. I'm trying to think back. I'm not endorsing anything. I'm just remembering things. God, it's like I wish I could just talk, but I'm like worried that I'm going to say something half thought out or stupid. Which I will. But yeah, they put out the "it's okay to be white" signs, just printing out things on a computer paper, taping them around a campus, and it was an international news story. This hasn't actually caught on. This happened days ago, September 19th. No, that wasn't too long ago. Wait, I don't even know what fucking day it is. But if I'm talking about this before it's been all over my YouTube timeline, I've got the scoop on it, or nobody's noticed it yet. Actually, I think I picked this up on One Angry Gamer. He's the first person and only person I've seen talk about this this troll job out in Boston. Whew. I'm as I'm talking, I know that if I'm going to need to download this entire thing and then chop it up like a friggin' surgeon to make it even semi-coherent. But fucking yeah. I don't know. I have a feeling this is going to pick up some steam because it kind of, like, you can see the people are being interviewed. They're just like, oh, it's, let's jump into
Islam is
it.
right about women.
They read Islam is right about women.
Several more.
So if you agree with it, you're a misogynist, you're against women. But if you're against it, doesn't that make you Islamophobic? I think that's the point. If you guys haven't picked up on it yet, I think that's the message behind the troll, or the motivation behind it, is to make this happen, and mission accomplished.
And Unitarian Church. It's unclear who they target.
Now, is Unitarian Church, is that like the Unitarian Universalists who I don't even know if those people believe in God. I don't even think you have to believe in God to be a Unitarian Universalist. But I also know there's a Unitarian Christian, so I'm not as well read up on, and that's maybe not even what they go by. I don't know. You guys might not even know what I'm talking about. But I saw that they had the gay pride flag out front of their building. Makes me think it might be Unitarian Universalists. If that's the right... I think that's the name of them. Fuck me.
Women or Islam.
This is one of about a dozen signs found here in Winchester. People we talk to say they don't even know what it means.
That's...
It's subject to interpretation.
I really don't know.
It's like it feels like a fucking comedy skit, because it's just like it's like you're fucked either way. If you are like a hardcore progressive, it's either you got to pick one or the other. Even wearing the hijab is okay, or it's a women's choice, or it's oppressive. And this Islam is right. Islam is right about women. 5 words that just, like, if there's a progressive robot, it would just like explode. Because it would not be able to compute these 5 words and come up with a appropriate, politically correct response. You guys know what I'm saying? All right, it's taken me, how long have we been streaming? 14 minutes. I've gotten point number 1 out.
Their own opinion, and I respect it. Everybody's entitled to say whatever they want.
Anita Davison says she spotted this.
I wanted to say earlier that she seems like the most sensible one, or not sensible, it's just like the most...
Whatever they want.
Anita Davison
Yes,
says
exactly.
Everybody's entitled to say whatever they want.
Anita Davison
There we
says
go.
She spotted this flyer.
She has the most right idea. And then there's all... She's like, people are entitled to feel however they want. And the rest of the people, which I think they're all white people, they're all just like, you shouldn't... you shouldn't be saying, you shouldn't even bring this stuff up.
Anita Davison said she spotted...
This is such a funny... Oh, yeah.
I really don't know, because everybody has their own opinion, and I respect it. Everybody's entitled to say whatever they want.
Anita Davison says she spotted this flyer.
Thank you,
Wednesday morning
this
on
lady.
Main Street in Winchester Center. It says Islam is right about women.
I tore the first one down, and then when I saw a second one, I decided to bring it to the police department here.
People
See, this 5 words. It doesn't even matter what the intention behind the guy who taped him all over town was. It doesn't even matter what his fucking intention was, even if he's a piece of shit. Those 5 words are a Rorschach test to people in 2019. Everyone who's being interviewed, you see their reactions, and they're like, they're losing it.
Town say they think the signs are referring to strict laws applied to women.
I think that putting signs up that make people feel uncomfortable is unfortunate, particularly in this time and age.
I asked the cop.
Great, that's a great hot take, old man. I don't like things that make people feel not nice. Okay.
Like that on one of these poles, would you arrest me? The officer said it's complicated. Technically, it's illegal to post signs like that, any signs on street poles, but it's hard to enforce. And because of freedom of speech and because that post wasn't threatening, it'd be similar to posting a photo of your missing cat.
Imagine if someone got arrested for taping this to a parking sign. Islam is right about women. Imagine someone being detained, arrested for that. What charge would they have? Like, if someone got even charged for vandalism for taping something to a sign. I guess, duct tape does leave residue. I guess they'd probably be able to win in court. That's beside the point, but what if they it seems like some of the people who are being interviewed, they think that maybe they should be arrested for a thought crime or something like that, or
no, that's not cool. It's not a cool thing to do.
It's just up.
They supercut her.
Like it just wasn't necessary to be up and out in the streets.
When she
Why?
saw these signs
Why
in
wasn't it?
Winchester Center, she ripped them down, took them to police, and alerted social media.
Rorschach test. I see something that makes me uncomfortable. I'm going to go to the police.
Islam is right about women.
What?
For women, the message is insulting and unnerving.
I think it's disgusting.
Sure.
It's unsettling. It's
It
somewhat
is.
of a misconception that like Islam, I guess, hates women.
Oh,
Either-
okay. All right. She's on the right track at first, but then spins out. Well, she's taking in all motivations all at once, unless they edited her down.
It's unsettling. It's somewhat of a misconception that like Islam, I guess, hates women.
The message is insulting and unnerving.
I think it's disgusting. It's unsettling. It's somewhat of a misconception that
Okay. Well, maybe the guy who posted the sign. Well, she's being edited. This isn't a supercut of a thing, but just this being left out in the open like this, it sounds like. All right, let me.
it's somewhat of a misconception that I think it's disgusting. It's unsettling.
I think it's disgusting and upsetting. Upsetting. She thinks the sign or the person who edited her into this thing makes her sound like. She thinks the sign's disgusting. Islam is right about women, but then she follows it up
somewhat
with.
of a misconception that like Islam, I guess, hates women.
Okay, the sign didn't say Islam hates women, and if you don't think that Islam hates women, then why is the sign disgusting to you? Again, she could have been edited. I could hear a hard edit in her voice, but unless they were misconstruing her, what she was trying to say, if that was her takeaway from it, then it's just like you got a lot of fucking screws loose in your friggin' head. Like, you guys know what I'm saying? Am I making sense right now, or is this unintelligible? Political correctness has always been a joke. People's fifis are so important. It's on the Unchained. YouTube user Unchained. Do you see what I'm saying, though? How she goes in saying, I think the sign's disgusting. And then she assumes that she's saying that Islam is against women. Why did she jump to that conclusion based off of the sign? It's like, that's the point about the sign. And the it's okay to be white one that they did is that it's so innocuous. Like, it's meant to make people assume one thing or another about it and then jump to the extreme. Again, I don't know who started the it's okay to be white one, but I don't know what information's come out about it. But I know that people were very reactionary about it. But yeah.
It's either about women, it's either about Islam, it's about both. I'm not really sure what point they were trying to make, but either way, it was terrible.
Oh my gosh, it's brilliant. This is fucking, I can't believe this isn't like a Mr. Show skit or something.
It's about Islam, it's about both.
Islam, I guess, hates women.
It's either about women, it's either about Islam, it's about both. I'm not really sure what point they were trying to make, but either way, it was terrible.
That kind of.
Whatever the point, 360 degrees. I'm sure it was terrible. I'm not convinced it was terrible. I'm not convinced it was terrible at all. It seems I'm actually regardless of the intentions of whoever did this, I think it's one of the most brilliant troll jobs I've ever seen. It's really something else. Because you just look at all the confusion and stuff on these people's eyes. And this compilation, this isn't just something that somebody tied together. A local, I don't have that link up, of course. I didn't notice this is a compilation, but a Boston news website was airing this clip, this compilation of clips from all the different news sources.
Sign is very upsetting to. It's
terrible.
That kind of sign is very upsetting to anyone with either an Islamic background or for many women.
So saying that Islam is right about women is shameful for anyone with his Islamic background. Oh my God, did Jesus say that on film and they aired that on television? This poor woman.
It was terrible.
That kind of sign is very upsetting to anyone with either an Islamic background.
Saying that Islam is correct is, what did she say?
Very upsetting to anyone with either an Islamic.
It's upsetting to see a sign that say that we are right. I think that would actually be very refreshing to in America. I'm from Chicagoland, so I'm not like seeing Jesus billboards everywhere, but you think for a Muslim who are like, I think they're like around like less than 1% of the population in America, they have to, everywhere they go, there's just these fucking churches with crosses everywhere. Like, I'm an atheist, and I have to see fucking churches everywhere. I do also live very close to a mosque. There is a mosque around me, which, yeah, they've been around here. Yeah, that's refreshing to see some other type of culture besides all these different Christianities. But, what was the point I was trying to make? But you'd think that if they saw a sign that said, hey, you're right about this. Of course I'm being silly. That would be refreshing. So, but what this woman says, like, I don't know what she thinks is coming out of her mouth. It's like, does she think that Muslims are ashamed of?
It was terrible.
That kind of sign is very upsetting to anyone with either an Islamic background or for many women.
The Winchester.
All right, yes, for women, yes, but Islam is right about women. What if she looked like a Christian lady? What if someone put up a sign that said Jesus or Christianity is right about women? Would she be offended about that? Would she feel ashamed? She might. She might be more progressive. I mean, Christianity they ain't nice to ladies either. They're not as bad as current year Islam, but there's nothing feminist about Christianity. There might be some better sects of it. Sects, not sex. Sects of Christianity that are more progressive, but all the old school ones, not too nice to the ladies. Not gonna lie. I was raised Catholic. I am a confirmed Catholic. I'm well versed on Catholicism, but you're from Chicagoland too. Have we been over that? I can't stop drinking and remembering things.
Also now aware.
Or remembering.
Whoever did it.
I think it's short-sighted. I think it's.
What's short-sighted though?
I don't know that you've gained anything that you wanted.
So it's unclear.
Just diarrhea of the mouth. Like she's just saying random words.
If this was just a prank or if a law was broken, police are still investigating.
It's like a Warshak. It's like, it's crazy. It's seeing all that. What got me thinking about this is just recently we have had the oust of people involved with the Women's March. The Women's March, which I had eyes on it when it first popped up, because there seemed to be like a lot of like little mini controversies, nothing too big or mainstream, but the Women's March was connected to this, was until very recently, a few days ago, which we'll get into that, a lady named Linda Sarsour. It was very controversial. I had known about her, I think even before she became more famous because of the Women's March, because I was familiar with Ayaan Hirsi Ali, who who Linda tweeted about. We'll get into it. Oh, Jesus. Jesus. Okay, yeah. We'll start with the Jezebel article. It says, Muslim leader removed from Women's March board over tweets about Israel. That's her take on it. Or Jezebel's take on it. Or I guess it's Jezebel's. It's Emily Alford's take on it. 2 days after the National Women's March. Period. Oh, wait, is this not the thing about... Oh, no, this is about the new... Alright, I just spoiled the end. There's actually a new Women's March person who was dropped. So this is a new thing. Alright, Women's March places 3 original leaders after anti-Semitism accusations with 16 board members. Yeah, so Linda Sarsour plus 2 other ones. I mean, they were all like down, like Louis Farrakhan and shit. How about I just read the fucking article and you can see my reading skills are like kind of tipsy and staring at 1, 2, 3 screens at once. I'm gonna have to smoke for this. I have half a pack of cigarettes. I'm still officially a non-smoker. Tonight was I don't know. I have cigarettes today. I'm sorry. We're going to be talking about Chicagoland some more because this Women's March stuff branches out to other tidier Women's Marches. Mainly something called the Dyke March, which is I guess it's national. There's one in Chicago and it had clashes. Guys, I can't spoil this. We're gonna go in order. All right, the Women's March is replacing 3 inaugural board members who have been dogged by accusations of anti-Semitism. I didn't expect that. I didn't expect. Okay, whatever. Infighting and financial mismanagement. Very corrupt, the Women's March is, I guess. Controversy, some say, have slowed the organization's progress and diminished its impact. I mean, what was the biggest impact of the first one was Ashley Judd reading a 16-year-old's Tumblr poetry. Oh my gosh, I'm fucking player hating so hard. I'm not against... I don't even know. Let's just focus on this. I sound like a fucking asshole right now. I'm sorry. Okay, too many. All right. These guys are way bigger assholes than me, though. So let's focus on them. Oh, okay. So they stepped down July 15th. The organization has been slow to announce their departures. I wonder why. I mean, it doesn't look good. That's PR. Through this week, where the group announced the board turnover. Was that really good for the Women's March? Like, let's keep these super controversial figures, very divisive figures. Let's let them, like, just taint the whole organization for July, August, like 3 more months, and then we'll wipe them off, and we'll inevitably be here. You know what would have been great for the Women's March? Would have had a bunch of people, including me, saying, thumbs up, signed now, yeah, clean it up. I support you now. You seem like you're actually for the things you claim to be about. But no, they did this instead. It's like they're more concerned about their not being embarrassed than, I don't know, doing what's correct. In many levels, the correct thing to do morally and the correct thing to do from a public relations perspective. If I would have... All right, never mind. A diverse cast of 16 new board members that includes 3 Jewish women, a transgendered woman, a former legislator, 2 religious leaders, and a member of a Galala tribe of the Lakota Nation. I hope I pronounced that correctly. will inherit an organization recovering from a failed attempt to trademark the Women's March named and fractured relationship with local activist groups and the Jewish community. Okay, I mean, yeah, I guess. I mean, this wasn't even like... But see, that's the thing about the Women's March is... The anti-Semitism stuff isn't even the half of the weird shit. Like, that doesn't even cover what they were like on day one. Day one, did you hear me? Day one. Let's see. Okay, here's Linda Sarsour. Alright, okay, let's just say look at Linda Sarsour. She's basically like an Islamist. Like she seems very well. I guess these are like old, but 2014. I guess it was. You know, she could be just changing, altering her opinions to fit popular opinion, as everyone fucking does who's in politics. But here's her. Saudi Arabia. Yeah, that's great for women. But this is what I wanted to actually look at. Here she goes, talk about Ayaan Hirsi Ali. She's asking for an ass whipping. I wish I could take their vaginas away. They don't deserve to be women. And this is Linda Sarsour knowing full well that Ayaan Hirsi Ali is a victim of female genital mutilation. Yeah. So to the fact that when everyone made a big fuss about this, I mean, that's a Daily Wire that's sharing this tweet, but she fucking said it. And I don't know. I don't think that someone who promotes like that ideology is the best person to be standing up in the name of feminism. I don't know though. It's not my fight. I'm a dude, bro. I'm a dude, bro. Fucking. Oh, what's up next? Oh yeah, and oh yeah, trademark Women's March fractures the relationship with the local community. Anything else? Who cares? Thanks, Wash Poe. But here we go. What was this? Yesterday, the Women's March still has an anti-Semitism problem, and that's. I think that might be like they just hired someone. I should have done better research before I went live, but I think we're gonna uncover these articles that they hired someone else like equally as controversial, something like that. Why am I ruining it? You don't know if Women's March last week finally edged out its anti-Semitic leaders, only to tap new board members who are just as extreme. Oh. It doesn't surprise me at all, which we'll talk about some of that later in the video. Tamika and Bob Bland alienated donors of grassroots. So now they're stepping aside but not letting a new board included Zara Bilu, who has tweeted that apartheid Israel kills children as a hobby. I think that I'm saying all kinds of words that Tim Pool would not be cool as saying on a stream or a video. I'm gonna get demonetized. Yeah, alright, so another crazy person, another Twitter crazy person is hired by the Women's March. Doesn't really surprise me. I mean, this is the face of the Women's March, like the hijab. It's like, this is the most feminist thing we could do. Like, this is the face of the feminism. And that's why, like, I thought of this image when we see this. We have this sign up, and, you know, everyone who's, like, really butthurt about it.
Signs are popping.
What? For women, the
misconception that, like, Islam, I guess, hates women.
It's
somewhat of a Islam,
Yeah.
I guess, hates women.
It's either about women, it's either about Islam, it's about both. I'm not really sure what point they were trying to make, but either way, it was terrible.
That kind
As they think it's the worst. Who knows? Maybe it was somebody. It wasn't. It wasn't somebody who legitimately thought that, posting up the sides. Unless it was, who knows? Boston, I don't know shit about Boston, but they don't know the intention. They're assuming. And they're probably, totally cool with their hypocrisy. Now they have double wubba standards about things that are kind of important. Alright, we went through this one. Oh yeah, and Bernie Sanders. Great fucking timing, Bernie, to attach yourself to this person who has been marred in controversy. He's Bernie Sanders, man. Damn. He's like, nobody's talking about him. Everyone's like, fucking Diamond Joe Biden, Elizabeth Warren. I'm Team Yang Gang. And it's like Bernie Sanders, like nobody, like I don't hear anybody talking about this guy anymore. He fucked up. It's at that time when. Alright, I'm not gonna. Yeah, alright, so they dumped Linda Sarsour. What the fuck is this? What is forward? The Women's March made a shocking announcement. It cut ties with 3 of the 4 founders, Linda Sarsour, Bob Bland, Tamika Mallory. Sarsour and Mallory had become controversial figures due to the allegations of anti-Semitism, including a cozy relationship with the rabid anti-Semite Nation of Islam leader Louis Farrakhan, who, Jesus, like, yeah. I remember thinking, like, could you condemn the things that Louis Farrakhan says? Like, I'll talk for a minute and a half, but I will not denounce the abhorrent things that comes out of that motherfucker's mouth. Monday's announcement should have been a turning point for a movement that had been tainted by the recurring strain of anti-Semitism. Instead, in a move both remarkable and disheartening, the Women's March has managed to find yet another anti-Semitic Muslim woman to serve on its board. Is Forward a right or a left-leaning website? Doing research to this, I found like a lot of Jewish news websites, stuff like that, which I'm assuming they might be like, you see that star up there? I'm thinking that's probably a pro-Israeli website. But you gotta just think for yourself. Never express myself with words. Monday's announcement should have been a turning point for the moon. When serving the board, consider Zara Bilou. I'm probably butchering names. An attorney and the executive director of the San Francisco chapter of the Council of American Islamic Relations. Belou's hateful and anti-Semitic tweets, particularly in relation to Israel, were brought back into focus, and she was promoted to the board members within March. June 2020, people wrote, apartheid Israel kills children as a hobby. Okay. All right, that's a little thing. It's like, see, Twitter's gonna ruin all of our lives. You're just gonna be like saying some shit like, just like, fuck this. Tweet some shit out, like a little like, psst, you know what you think about, and then 10 years later, it just ruins your fucking career. That's what's happening to this person. She may not even completely believe that. She probably thinks now that maybe I was being a little hyperbolic. Maybe I don't believe the same thing, but she's kicked off the women's march now because there is no fucking up. Things you say on Twitter are things that you believe and feel for. Oh wait, there's more. Oh, okay. DHS and FBI should launch CVE programs targeting Israel's supporters because Zionism is a very real threat to our national security. Okay. That was 2015. All right. So this wasn't just like one drunk night tweet. Who was killed, tortured, in prison where people apartheid? Israel or ISIS? Okay. All right. Yeah. So the Women's March, just as shitty as it was before. They'll sneak in anyone who just, as long as they haven't been caught tweeting something or saying something in public too bad, they'll just sneak them in. So I don't know. The Women's March, spooky, and we'll dive further into that as we go. Okay. What's this? All right, this is the one. This is the lady that who got kicked out, who got fired, I guess. Anti-Semite Baloo lashes. Am I pronouncing it right? Because it sounds like from the like Baloo the bear. Lashes out after being dumped at Women's March. Let's see here. And I think this is one of the things I skimmed, and it's the victim narrative thing. I'm pretty sure. Zara Baloo's tenure as a board member for the National Women's March lasted 3 days. She is a victim. Okay, I don't know what meaner. I don't know where they are leaning, but okay, she claimed she is a victim of an Islamophobic smear campaign. She claimed, led by the usual antagonists, Gamergate, who have long targeted me, my colleagues, and anyone else who dare speak out in support of the Palestinian human rights and the right of self-determination. That might be true. I don't know anything about this chick and this woman of color, or I don't know what the thing. This lady. I said chick. That was the thing that was offensive. This lady is less offensive. She identifies as a lady. I'm sure of it. The Washington Post reported changes to the Women's March board on Monday, noting the outgoing leaders Linda Sarsour, Tamika Mallory, Bob Bland were unable to overcome the controversy involving anti-Semitism. In addition to those controversies, Sarsour pushes a blood libel that makes Jews responsible for police shootings of unarmed black people. What? What is this website? Is this real? Okay, I don't know if I trust this website. Seems a little kooky. What? I've never heard. I think that I would have heard. This Sarsour said this. No, I would have fucking heard about this. And I'm not gonna verify this. I'm just gonna move along. Oh, we'll see. This is something, all right, about the Women's March. It's like the anti-Semitism stuff is not even everything that's fucked up about what they're doing. I mean, let's talk about, like, the day of the Women's March. Donna Hilton. I thought this is maybe not the best person to prop up for feminism. Like, this person is someone who tortured, raped, and murdered someone. I mean, they're all criminals. Like, she engaged in some really, like, fucked up activity. And, I mean, let's go through it. I mean, she served her time. I think that she's legitimately been rehabilitated, and now she's a activist. And it's, well, let's just go through. Her life, early life, I'm sure, I mean, she's wrote a book about herself, but this is, like, it's important. And, like, I mean, more power to her. I mean, she's been rehabilitated and, rehabilitated. Oh, I'm such a fucking idiot. All right, go on. I'm not saying that she should still be in prison, but maybe she isn't the best person to. Hold on, I am jumping all over the place. Let's just go. Murder of Thomas Vigliola. Tom Vigliola. fuck. On March 20th, 1985, Donna Hilton, 3 female accomplices, drugged and kidnapped 62-year-old Long Island real estate broker Thomas Vigriola at the behest of Louis Miranda? Yes, Louis Miranda, who thought Vigriola had cheated him out of $139,000 on a mutual con, in which the two allegedly sold shares in New York City condos and pocketed the money. The kidnappers held Vigriola prisoner for 15 to 20 days. During that time, 3 men and 4 women, including Hilton, starved, burned, beat, sexually assaulted, raped, and tortured him. On April 5th, 1985, with Hilton asleep in the next room, Vigriola died of asphyxiation. 3 days later, his body is found locked in a trunk in a Manhattan apartment. How did he die of asphyxiation? This, like, Wikipedia page seems very withholding of everything exactly she was involved in. Like, if it was if Jeffrey Dahmer, Albert Fish, whatever, this seems like it would be a court case where there would be a lot of fucking information out there. Where are all the details of what exactly she did? Like, Wikipedia is shitty about shit like this sometimes. They have a slant when it comes to certain things. And I'm sure that people pulled some strings in the Women's March or whatever activism group that she works with to clean up the nitty-gritty of what actually she did personally. But I'm not going to research this right now. I'm not going to... Maybe after we get through the rest of my links, I'll start Googling other stuff. But I didn't think ahead, so here we are. But she went to jail for a long time. She was in the jails from the 80s until, like, 2012. Post-prison, following her release, Hilton is an advocate for the humanitarian release of aging prisoners. Okay. I mean, the reason she's at the Women's March is they're only concerned about aging female prisoners. But what are you going to do with a fucking old-ass male prisoner? It's like, they don't got places to go, for the most part, aging prisoners. And if they done stuff like murder the shit out of somebody, it's like, what? It's like, what a great cause to fight for. The release of aging prisoners. I mean, I guess there's arguments to it. It just seems like there's so many other problems in the world. I'm sure. Educate me on why I should give a fuck about the aging prisoners who tortured a gay dude for 20 days. 2016, it was announced that Rosario Dawson was attached to a murder version of Hilton's life story, A Little Piece of Light, filmed about. Again, I did not read about her tragic growing up. All I know about is the torture and murder and asphyxiation of the guy. January 2017, it was featured at the Women's March of Washington. Yeah, so that's what I'm talking about. It's like, great! We have... As I think I said this before, what's her Ashley Judd reading a 16-year-old's Tumblr poem. This murderer who thinks that women should not be in prison as long for murder and rape. And Linda Sarsour, who thinks Islam is awesome for women. This is the other thing. The anti-Semitism stuff started creeping in, not initially, like right at the day of the Women's March. The first one. There were more local ones, namely the Dyke March in Chicago. Which this is when I started actually like losing Facebook friends and shit after criticizing these so-called like feminists women's marches, feminists, but also super cool with Islam, and also kind of seeming anti-Semitic, kind of like with hiding behind, just like, we're just criticizing Israel. We don't want you to have the Star of David at the march, but it's just because we don't like Israel. Let's see here. Despite DC controversy, other Dyke marches welcome Jewish pride flag. New York, a lesbian advocacy organization in Washington, D.C. drew wide criticism last week for banning pride flags with Jewish stars from its signature march. Organizers of the D.C. Dyke March said the rainbow flag featuring a Star of David in the middle too closely resembled the Israeli flag and thus were not allowed, along with other flags representing nations that have been nations that have specific oppressive tendencies. It was the second Dyke March organization to issue such a ban. In 2017, 3 women carrying Jewish pride flags were asked to leave a Dyke March in Chicago. This happened right fucking by me. And told the event was anti-Zionist and pro-Palestinian. Despite the 2 high-profile incidents, however, organizers of 5 Dyke marches in New York, Boston, Seattle, Portland, and Buffalo told the Jewish Telegraph Agency that they did not have bans on Jewish pride flags. And could you imagine the bullying that went on? The fact that it got reported in Chicago, that means that there were SJWs at the Dyke March that were so in their face that they got in the face of these Jewish women, Jewish lesbian women, holding their pride flags with the Star of David, and you could tell that they got on their face and said, this is anti-Zionist, pro-Palestinian, and you need to get the fuck out of here. It's like, the fact that it got reported on, I could tell that that's how it was. And if you guys go way back in 2015, before things got crazy at political type events, I filmed Milo Yiannopoulos at DePaul in Chicago. There's a playlist on the main channel. And that was chaotic, but nobody got violent until 5 months later at Berkeley. And I will never show up at a political type event again. Even though I'm like just neutral, just trying to film the document stuff. Because it's fun. It's just too dangerous. Someone could bust your head in. But yeah, you could tell that I'm sure that there's some Antifa types at this Antifa attitude type. Just that thing where it's just like, you go, it's our way or the highway. You get out of here. And I don't know, these people don't seem too keen on Jewish people. Seeing what happened in D.C., that folks are not feeling welcome. It's just not how we want our march to feel, said Nate Chevelle, a Jewish organizer of the New York City March, which is scheduled for June 29th. New York organizers are not interested in creating a binary of Palestinian or Zionist, added Alex whatever, another Jewish organizer. Tereshchenakova? Come on with your name, Alex. Despite the ban in D.C., marchers there carrying Jewish pride flags were able to join the rally in the end, though a video from the march showed that a marshal initially demanded they remove the flag. What? Is there a video? Dyke marches are safe for society. Canada. Chicago Dyke March also did not respond to questions as policy this year. I'm ashamed. I'm upset that, because I have a bunch of Jewish friends in Chicago, and the fact that they're not welcomed by these dykes in their march, that's very upsetting. What do we got now? Okay, this is the Times of Israel. I have a feeling it's might be a little bit of a pro-Israeli website. Let me just look at the chat real quick. What up? What up? That's what I hear, Brian. What language is it, though? What language is it? I could put it into Google Translate and make sure what Linda Sarsour's name Sarsour, what it translates into. Yeah. Alright, so this is the Times of Israel. And I just, some of these, like, it was hard for me to actually find articles about the Jewish star being banned from the Chicago Dyke March, because I think that maybe some of the local people who reported on it, it seems like they maybe have deleted their articles, because I cannot find the original ones, and I wasn't about to go dig through my Facebook from years ago when it happened. Okay. Palestinian flag flown. Oh, okay. So they have a clear thing. They're definitely the Chicago Dyke March is definitely against Israel, I suppose. And I guess that's why this pro-Israeli website is doing this. Palestinian. God, I think I'm getting a little drunk, guys. Palestinian flags flown at Chicago Dyke March a year after Star David banned. Marchers also waved Mexican, Puerto Rican, and rainbow flags and chanted "No pride in occupation, no pride in deportation." Okay, so it's not like this march isn't about. It isn't about. I don't even need to read the rest of the article. It's not about being a lesbian. It's about following a political ideology, a very specific one. You gotta be regressive as fuck to get in this place. We got through it. And I think that, I mean, it was a rough start, but I think that the last half of it, I think I nailed it. What did you guys think? Did you have fun watching? I could hold this. So yeah, I usually don't do videos about shit like this, but it's just, I got so many things to say, like, just nothing makes sense, and all this shit about the Women's March, it just keeps coming up ever since its inception. It's like, because these people they're on my side politically, there's people on the left, but it's just like, gosh, you guys are wacky. You guys are all the fuck over the place. And, I mean, especially with Sarsour, I mean, her ideology and feminism don't seem conducive, and no matter how much they say or how many times they like that Obama mock-up picture of the woman in the American flag burqa, it's like, the burqa is not pro-feminism. It's like Islam is not pro-feminism, just like Christianity is not pro-feminism. How are you going to argue that Islam is somehow pro-feminism when Christianity is not at all feminist whatsoever? There's nothing feminist about any of these Judeo-Christian religions. They're anti-women. That's why I've been an atheist for most of my life now, I think. Yeah. Sorry, I had to do the math in my head. I wish I could pump out more stuff like that Unchained, but I really don't have a lot of hot takes on this. But I feel like the only article I've seen talking about the Boston thing, and for people new here, how about we because I think I'm probably gonna edit this down to something a little more coherent. Let's I mean, this is just, I can't believe this isn't a comedy fucking skit. Seriously. Here we go. I mean, look at this shit. It's out of control. The world has gone mad.
But now the debate has been sparked here in Winchester. Are these free speech or hate speech?
It says Islam is right about women.
They read Islam is right about women.
Several more found at the elementary and high schools and Unitarian church. It's unclear who they target, women or Islam.
This is one of about a dozen signs found here in Winchester. People we talk to say they don't even know what it means.
Kind of stuff is confusing. It's subject to interpretation.
I really don't know because everybody has their own opinion, and I respect it. Everybody's entitled to say whatever they want.
Anita Davison says she spotted this flyer Wednesday morning on Main Street in Winchester Center. It says Islam is right about women.
I tore the first one down, and then when I saw a second one, I decided to bring it to the police department here.
People in town think the signs are referring to strict laws applied to women.
I think that putting signs up that make people feel uncomfortable is unfortunate, particularly in this time and age.
I asked the cop, if you caught me posting a sign like that on one of these poles, would you arrest me? The officer said it's complicated. Technically, it's illegal to post signs like that, any signs on street poles, but it's hard to enforce. And because of freedom of speech and because that post wasn't threatening, it'd be similar to posting a photo of your missing cat.
I assume it's negative. No, that's not cool. It's not a cool thing to do.
It's just I just didn't like it. It just wasn't necessarily up.
I don't like it, so I called the police.
Signs in Winchester Center, she ripped them down, took them to police, and alerted social media.
Islam is right about women? What?
For women, the message is insulting and...
Theory. I have a theory. Islam is right about women. Do you see the word right is all capitalized? Meaning maybe it's right of center, right wing. Islam is right leaning about women. Look at that. Look at the capitalization. What do you think about that? Because it is. It's a very conservative ideology.
I think it's disgusting. It's unsettling. It's a somewhat of a misconception that, like, Islam, I guess, hates women. Somewhat of a...
The sign didn't say Islam hates women.
It's unsettling.
The message is insulting and unnerving.
I think it's disgusting. It's unsettling. It's a somewhat of a misconception that, like, Islam, I guess, hates women.
So what she just said was Islamophobic and it's both Islamophobic and
It's either about women, it's either about Islam, it's about both. I'm not really sure what point they were trying to make, but either way, it was terrible.
That kind of sign is very upsetting to anyone with either
Felicity Tuttle
or for many women.
The Winchester Multicultural Network also now aware, saying to
Who are these fucking people? Can't believe these people are real.
Islam, I guess, hates women.
Juliet Wang.
About women, it's either about Islam.
I mean, this all could have been super edited to make every single one of these people sound like idiots. But they sound like fucking idiots.
Is very upsetting to anyone with either an Islamic background or for many women.
The Winchester Multicultural Network also now aware, saying to whoever did it.
I think it's short-sighted. I think it's unfortunate. I don't know that you've gained anything that you wanted.
So it's unclear if this was just a prank or if a law was broken. Police are still investigating.
All right, motherfuckers. I think I've I've said all I could say about this shit. Fucking, it's like it seriously is. It's a fucking clown. It's like a fucking clown world. Nobody makes any fucking sense, and I think that troll was just brilliant. It's like a Rorschach test. Like, what does this make you? How does this make you react? And not only in that video, but I think that if I think that, I don't know, this is, if I'm talking about it before it's on my YouTube timeline, that means that this hasn't popped off yet. So I would say that it would be pretty funny if that got shared everywhere on Twitter, those same 5 words, and we could just sit back and watch clueless idiots contradict themselves. Man. But yeah, thanks for watching, motherfuckers. If you like to have seen so far, this thing is 1 hour and 8 minutes long. So just rewind back to the beginning and try it out again. I might come back on live in a little bit to do a game stream or something. But yeah, I think this went okay. It was semi-watchable. Right, guys? Right, motherfuckers? If you're new here, make sure to like and subscribe. Hit that bong for notifications. And I will make sure to turn down my microphone next time I scream like that. Sorry. I forgot to adjust that. But other than that, I don't know. Check out the Teespring store. There's no link in the description yet, but if you Google it, you'll be able to figure it out. Anyway, bye-bye, motherfuckers.